Let's talk about creating and leading positive change. Leadership is not static, it's dynamic, constantly responding to the needs of the people and the situations around us. Ken Blanchard, in Chapter 31 of Lead Like Jesus Revisited, shares profound insights on how leaders who follow Jesus' example can inspire and lead positive change in a way that truly transforms lives and organizations. This lecture will explore our thoughts on leading change effectively, emphasizing that at the core of all successful transformation is the heart of a servant leader. John Maxwell has said, "Change is inevitable. Progress is optional." Change happens in every organization, every family, every community. Change will happen whether we want it to or not. But while change is constant, it is not always easy. Resistance to change is one of the most common challenges a leader faces. Why is that? Because change often brings uncertainty, discomfort, and a sense of loss. People will resist change when they don't understand it, when they feel it's being imposed on them, or when they fear it will disrupt their lives in negative ways. So we must approach change with empathy, understanding the fears and concerns of all those that we are leading. Positive change does not come from imposing our will, but from engaging people's hearts and minds. And that begins with our hearts. As we've said over and over, successful change begins with the leader's heart. Are we motivated by selfish ambition, or are we truly seeking to serve people? Jesus modeled a servant-hearted approach to leadership, and as his followers, we're called to do the same thing, but we must practice it to get better at it. The servant leader recognizes that change is not about personal gain, and it's not about recognition either. It is about helping others achieve their God-given potential and moving toward a vision that will honor him in the process. When our hearts are aligned with God's purposes, we are better equipped to lead change in a way that is authentic and inspiring, holding to our values. As Christian coaches and the leader, we should be asking ourselves, am I leading this change for the benefit of others or for myself? Am I seeking to glorify God in this process or to gain personal acclaim? This kind of self-reflection ensures that we remain humble and focused on the greater good. Effective change, after all, begins with a clear and compelling vision. Without vision, change lacks direction. Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." As leaders, we must communicate a vision that inspires people to embrace the change that's needed and see its value. A Christ-like vision for change is one that is inclusive. It is also God-honoring, and it's focused on the well-being of others. Jesus' life was filled with visionary leadership. He cast a vision of the kingdom of God, a vision of love and justice and transformation. Similarly, as we lead positive change, we must paint a picture of a future that aligns with his purposes and ignites passion in those that we lead. Effective change requires that we involve others in the vision-setting process. People are more likely to support change when they feel they have a voice and a stake in the outcome. Collaborative visioning fosters ownership and commitment, coupled with habits. Once the vision is clear, how do we know and lead others through the process of change? Consider 4 steps that align with Jesus' example. Step 1 is communicate clearly and consistently. Jesus was a master communicator. He shared his vision of the kingdom of God through stories, teachings, and personal interactions. As leaders, we must communicate the vision for change in ways that are clear and consistent and relatable to the people we're influencing. And repetition is key. People need to hear the message multiple times before it will sink in. In fact, people are the most likely to grasp the vision only after you're sick of telling them about it. So keep casting that vision until it connects with the people and they start to respond as if it was their own idea. Step 2 is empower and equip others. Change is not something a leader does alone. Jesus empowered his disciples. He gave them authority and equipped them with the tools they needed to carry out his mission. And similarly, we must empower those that we lead by providing the resources, the training, and the support that they need to succeed. We must have the trust of our people before they can be empowered. When people feel trusted and valued, they're more willing to embrace change and take ownership of their roles in the process of change. Step 3 is address resistance with empathy. Resistance to change is natural, and we should approach it with empathy and patience. Jesus often met people where they were, listening to their concerns and addressing their fears. As leaders, we must create a safe space for people to express their anxieties and provide reassurance that we're willing to talk with them and we're walking with them through the process. Step 4 is celebrate progress and persevere. Change takes time, after all. It's important to celebrate small victories along the way. Recognizing progress keeps people motivated and focused on the end goal. So we must persevere through challenges and setbacks, trusting that God is at work even when the road is difficult. When we lead change in a way that reflects His example, the results can be transformative, really. Lives are enriched, relationships are strengthened, organizations will thrive. But more importantly, God is glorified in the process. Leading positive change is not just about achieving external outcomes. It is also about, and mainly about, inner transformation. As we lead others, we ourselves are being changed. We grow in humility and faith and dependence on God. This echoes the words of Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Leading positive change renews not only the minds of those we lead, but also our own minds, drawing us closer to Christ and to His purposes, which is maybe even more important. Leading positive change is one of the most challenging yet rewarding aspects of leadership. It requires a servant's heart, a clear vision, and a commitment to empowering while also walking alongside others. Most importantly, it requires us to follow the example of Jesus, who led with love and humility and a steadfast focus on God's mission. So as you reflect on your role as a leader, I encourage you to consider this. How can you lead change in a way that reflects the heart of Jesus? What steps can you take to inspire and empower those around you to embrace change and transformation? Remember, true leadership is not about power or position. It is about serving others and glorifying God through every decision, through every action, and every single change you lead.